Good morning, boys and girls. In our Google Classroom, you will find a document that shows all the pages of the book, It's a Good Thing There Are Earthworms. I wanted you to have those so that you could refer back to each page and look at the different text features like headings, captions, photographs, like more captions. So you could see things like the table of contents, the glossary, the index, okay? I wanted you to be able to see each page. You can also use that document to follow along as I read the words to you right now. So here's a read aloud of It's a Good Thing There Are Earthworms by Jody Shepard. This is a nonfiction text about earthworms. Table of contents. It's a good thing, page 5. Earthworm bodies, page 10. Where do earthworms live? Page 18. More and more earthworms, page 22. Creature feature fun, page 28. Glossary, page 31. Index, page 32. Facts for now, page 32. And about the author, page 32. This is called the table of contents. It's at the beginning of a book, and it tells you what pages you can find information on. So if you know you want to read a certain chapter or a certain section of the nonfiction book, this will tell you what page to go to. A heading tells you what this section of the book will be about. So this section is called It's a Good Thing. And that's going to tell me probably why it's a good thing that there are earthworms. Some people think earthworms are just garden pests. Others think these creepy crawlies are just plain yucky. But it's a good thing there are earthworms. Earthworms help plants grow as they tunnel through dirt. As they dig, the earthworms eat dead plants, seeds, roots, leaves, and dirt. They turn them into waste called pellets. Pellets make the soil extra healthy. Fun fact, earthworms eat only pointy leaves. No one knows why. The earthworm's tunnels loosen the soil. Air and water come up into the loose soil and help plants grow. Earthworms are also food for birds, frogs, and other animals. A robin feeds a worm to her chicks. Earthworm bodies. So this title, this heading tells me that this section of the book is going to give me information about earthworm bodies. When you know what you're about to read about, it helps you start to make connections, it helps you make better inferences, and it helps you be a better understander and learner while you're reading. Earthworms have no bones and no legs. These useful critters get around by wiggling. Special rings around their bodies let them wiggle and move. So this page has a label. This says mouth with an arrow, and these are called rings. So there are lots of arrows to the different rings on the earthworm's body. Then this is called a caption. It gives you more information about a photograph. The rings on this worm's body help it move. To move, first the worms stretch out long and thin. Then they squeeze up short and fat. Bristles on their bodies help them grip the soil as they crawl. Can you wiggle like an earthworm? An earthworm repeats a two-step process to move. Earthworms have tiny brains. They have no eyes and no ears. They do not have lungs either. They breathe in air through their skin. Earthworms have mouths but no teeth. Look for the end of the worm that's wider. That's where the mouth is. Can you guess where the earthworm's mouth is? Gooey mucus covers the earthworms. It keeps their skin moist. It also helps them slide through the soil. Shiny mucus keeps this earthworm healthy. Can you see how the word mucus is a little bit darker than the rest of the words on the page? That's called bold text. Sometimes an author will make a word look different than the other words by using bold text, which is just a little bit darker. Maybe they'll use italic text, which kind of slants the words a little bit. Maybe they'll use an underline, which puts a line under an important word. Or maybe they'll use highlighting. So maybe an important word will be in yellow or have a color behind it. This author chose to use bold text, and that tells me that the word mucus is maybe an important or a new word that I might not know yet, and I can probably look it up in the back of the book in the glossary, which is like a little mini dictionary in the back of a nonfiction book that tells you what words mean. Where do earthworms live? Earthworms can live almost anywhere in the world, except where the ground is too dry or too frozen. Earthworms live in underground burrows. Fun fact, in winter, earthworms sleep or hibernate deep underground. I did not know that. Watch the ground after it rains. You may see lots of earthworms because the ground is wet. Usually it is hard for them to be above ground. The sun is too strong. It may dry them out. As soon as the ground dries, the earthworm will go back underground. More and more earthworms. Earthworms come above ground to mate. There are no male or female worms. Each worm is both male and female, but you still need two worms. More and more earthworms. After worms mate, they lay eggs. They use mucus to make a cocoon. The cocoon covers the eggs and keeps them safe inside. When the baby worm hatches, they are tiny and white. Then their skin turns dark. They are ready to get to work in the garden. Earthworm eggs are tiny. Now you know these hardworking garden critters help us in many ways. It's a good thing there are earthworms. Earthworms are good for making soil healthy, helping plants grow, providing food for animals like birds and frogs. Here are some nonfiction photographs. When an earthworm is cut in two, it may be able to regenerate or grow a new head or tail. Most earthworms are small. One of the longest earthworms is the giant Gippsland earthworm. It lives in Australia and is 3 feet long. In some countries, people eat earthworms and like them. There are thousands of different kinds of earthworms, including red wrigglers and night crawlers, which are used for fishing bait. Here are some more fun facts, and here's the glossary, which is going to tell you what bristles are, what burrows are, what a cocoon is, and what mucus is. So those are those different bold words that were throughout this story, and you can find them in the mini dictionary in the back called the glossary. And here is the index, which is organized in alphabetical order instead of by page number in the back of the book, and it tells you where you can find different topics.